what's happening? So on this week's pod, or this part one of me sitting down with Haitian Josh and light skinned Chris, I haven't came up with the title yet, but it'll be on there when it comes out, obviously. But we sit around and we catch up on some memories about going to Morehouse together. We talk about music. We talk about just life in quarantine. Good listen, a lot of jokes, but it's inspired a new series that I'm going to start working on. And it's just kind of, we're going to call it Morehouse Memories. And it's coming soon. Just came up with the idea like today as I was going back, cutting up the bits of this pod for the IG video and preparing to get it out. But I'm going to get a group of people. The plan is to get some people on to talk about just different college memories that we shared or they had. And we're just going to package that up together. And it's probably going to be multiple volumes of that, multiple iterations, because I think there's so many great college stories that we can tell that we can use and get that going. So I hope you all enjoy this one. It's great. It's fun. And I love it. We're live. But so it's actually kind of weird because this is one of the first times I've ever started a pod and I just wasn't just talking in the background or had some setup going because, so kind of just flow into it because you never want to just introduce a podcast with the hey, that's just going to throw people off. But fuck it. Hey, it's the big motherfucking baby. I'm back. And I'm back with two very important people, right? I got light-skinned Chris and Haitian Josh here with me. and just a little background, right? It's crazy that it's taken me this long to get friends from college on the podcast, especially these people, because Chris is a person who's been listening. He's somebody who gives me feedback. He'll tell me if some shit is poo. He just talks to me. And Josh is, of my friends from freshman year, I probably talk on the phone to Josh more than anyone else. Me and Josh have hour-long phone conversations about nothing. But it's great talk. But the two of these guys are two of my first friends at Morehouse, and I'm just so happy that y'all are here to come pod with me.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's lit. We're happy to be here. It's gonna be a fun discussion.
It is, man. And for starters, it's graduation time. Let's get this out the way. Let's congratulate the graduates. It's unfortunate that you don't get to walk across the stage. But I'll tell you that walking across the stage is really overrated. That's for everybody else. The work that you put in and the product that comes out the end of this process is what truly happens. Because I remember when we graduated, we all was sitting outside in the fucking rain for 4 hours.
It definitely was raining.
My cap was so soggy. That thing was slumped down by the time I took my picture.
Yeah, them pictures look ugly afterwards.
Sad. We were some wet dogs.
Didn't take pictures.
You said you didn't get none?
I have some that I took back in the room, but I didn't do the whole family picture thing. It was hey, I get it. It's raining hard as fuck.
It's coming down.
I'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah, bro, I was sick because I had just bought a new suit, bro, and new shoes.
Mm-hmm. Clothes soggy as hell, smelled like wet dog for months. Had to get them dry cleaned.
I never understood the point of buying a new suit for graduation because no one sees it.
Nobody tells you that until it's too late, though. It wasn't until we took the graduation photos that I realized dudes were wearing slides and T-shirts under their cap and gown.
Man, honestly, bro, you through college, bro, you wear the same dingy suits to all your interviews and internships, bro. That's to me, that was the moment you could pivot and finally maybe spend a little extra money on a nice suit.
My college experience was different. We're not really going to talk about, all of that as far as professionally goes. So, I ain't have to worry about that shit.
Yeah.
Even though Josh was a suit wearing political ass nigga.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man.
Bro, what the fuck was we doing with that one team, one voice, or one band, one sound shit from
You
freshman?
talking about your campaign?
Yeah. So I mean,
Bro, hey, see, I have the picture on my phone. If you can use it, and I don't know how you can do it, but I have the photo.
hey, Chris Broussard had a vision, and it looked good. Our stuff was way colder than everybody else's. Did we win? No, but it's all right. There was some personal politics that played in too much into that because we would have been a great
Hey, y'all was
platform.
fired, bro. Because
Yeah.
you were Secretary of Treasurer.
I was secretary.
Yeah. You ran for president, right?
No,
president?
VP, because Steve
Marv
McGreen and Marv, they had the show off in the African American Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I remember your debate. You bodied, bro.
That was a fun experience.
It's funny you talk about that because I was on a large fucking group call a couple of weeks ago with Hakeem.
Yeah.
And I told him, fuck them for leaving me out the homecoming parade because they didn't even tell me where to go or nothing. I'm in the, I was supposed to be on the float and all that shit. No, but I ain't know. They took a trip, I think, to like DC in the name of freshman class council. I didn't know.
Like recently?
No, like freshman year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was only privy to the meetings on schedule. Everything else that happened, had no idea, I guess, because I smoked Black and Miles in public.
And you were sagging your pants too.
I didn't sag freshman year.
No, that was more.
I remember when you had came into the dorm orientation, you had on them puka shells.
Come on, man. I know you're gonna bring that shit up, man.
Bro.
Man, that's a phase of my life that I try to forget about. I was a young nigga trying to find myself.
I kid it, bro.
I will say I credit you all a lot for the way I dress now, because my country ass coming out of Cartersville, you know, I knew a little bit, but I wasn't in the shoes.
Yeah. I mean, I was like on camp, like for real, camp is like really let you know where you stood, like with the fashion. Cause coming from wherever we came from, like we thought we was doing that shit, and then you get to campus, you seen the upperclassmen with the skinny suits and the Clark boots, and you like, oh shit.
Like, oh, I wouldn't
even kill me with the high waters though. I could never get behind the high water suit. Yeah. I'm like, how do you pay for a suit that's too small? Yeah. Your tailor's terrible.
Yeah, some of them niggas were very aggressive with their tailoring.
Oh my god!
Like you won't wear that in like an office, bro. Like with your whole socket showing, bro. Like,
bro, I don't know. I feel like nowadays dudes really do be wearing these tiny suits. Like they're on that little B wave, like tiny suit, tiny pants, everywhere they go. And I just I don't get it. Like how did you get the job?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I was getting oh, shit, excuse me. I got some suits made when I was overseas, and like I got some made a certain way because they're social suits, right? Like I'm gonna go out and they're not gonna be worn for anything professional. But for like a professional, like for my professional suits, like I still want like my pants to like touch, you know, like right above the ankle-ish, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, like I want to look professional. And even like with the fit, you know, you want a nice tailored fit, but at the same time, like what I would be comfortable wearing out as a tailored fit versus what I'm gonna wear to work. I think those are two different looks that you should be going for, and I think people confuse that shit.
Yeah. Agreed. I don't want to clock any of your outfits because they haven't made it to the gram, but that vest pants combo you rocked once upon a time was definitely a dope suit.
I appreciate that, man. I actually got to give a shout out to my nigga Chew. I got it from him. I saw him kill that shit a couple times. I was like, ooh, I kind of like this, but I'm not going to wear it around him. I'm going to wait till I leave, and then I'm going to, you know what I mean, freak him with it.
Boy.
I talked to Chad a couple months ago, and he was talking about how your suit was fire too, bro. Well, really, both of y'all all your fits that weekend at Josh wedding.
Well, you know, I came that weekend to make a statement since I was showing up without a date. I was like, look, Even if they don't like it, they gotta see it.
Yeah. That boy AC showed up to the wedding looking like a handsome Squidward.
Fuck you. Dog, you say that, and it's crazy how we really all became friends over jokes.
Oh man, for real.
And you talk about jokes. Me and my niggas was talking in the group text either last night or this morning. I don't recall because I've been up since like 4 o'clock. And this nigga was talking about how I'm terrible at first impressions. And I was like, you know what? That's funny because apparently I had a terrible first impression with Josh, and I don't even remember.
I hated you. I was like, man, this dude, who sent this guy from Tampa? They need to send him back. Like, I couldn't stand you. You came to the table talking shit, and then you're like, no, we homies. I said, no, you ain't, bro. I don't know you.
Bro, legit, AC, you came to the table in the cab, and actually that shit is documented on Facebook, bro, because we ended up bonding because you started flaming some dude that was getting food, had like some weird ass spider looking haircut. Then you tagged us all in the photo on Facebook.
I tagged buddy.
You didn't tag him, you tagged all of us, and like we bonded over flaming.
I do remember this. He had the
like it's really still there.
Yeah.
So that was a phase in my life where I was just like putting funny shit on social media. Like I should have stuck with that shit because apparently it's cool now.
I remember Fat Cam too on Snapchat. That was priceless, but not very appropriate in today's inclusive environment. But
I could think of 1,000 reasons why I would get canceled if they ever go look at my Twitter. 2010 to 2014, over with.
I'm glad that thing's deleted. I got an adult Twitter now.
Yeah, that was
my whole name on there.
I don't get on often. I tried to delete it one time, but I didn't remember my password, and then I didn't remember my email address password. I just never tried again.
Man, I still got it, bro. Just to go down memory lane, even though some of that stuff is cringeworthy when you go back and look.
But part of me enjoys that piece of it. It's like, look look where society was for one, and then look what my brain was thinking in society and what was okay to tell the world.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm drunk as fuck right now. What a hoes at?
I remember one time, bro, I was arguing with a shorty on Twitter. This was like 2011. And we was all in the dorm still. Like, I forgot where we came back from, but AC had mentioned me, was like, hey, bro, go to sleep, bro. He was like, bro, you showing your ass right now. Go to sleep, bro. Which was very good advice.
Yeah, I lost some good friends because of talking too much on Twitter. And it wasn't even like I was talking poorly about people. People just like started feeling sensitive about what I was putting out. And I don't know, what's that like country saying? Like, you know, if you a hound dog a holler or whatever.
A hit dog a holler.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like that's totally what happened. Where it's just like I was throwing shots, you know, just kind of, you know, willy nilly, and people were getting real sensitive about it. So
I just know I was a disgruntled person at that point in my life, and I think it kind of reflects to where I am today because I'm still disgruntled. I feel underappreciated, undervalued. Fuck all these niggas. I'm a hater, and I think that reflected in my tweets because, yeah, there's a lot of people who I didn't think were cool or funny, and them niggas got to be cool and funny, and they wasn't.
Agree.
Did you ask your question about the ego thing?
I was working there because that was an interesting time, and like I asked you, Chris, because you and I have had this conversation, and you and I have been a part of group text before group texts were cool. Like, let's come up with this idea.
Yeah.
Where would niggas be today if we didn't have the egos we had back then?
Man, it's kind of hard to say because, I mean, I guess in the professional context, maybe some different opportunities, but I don't think we weren't opposed to like trying new things, or we weren't even antisocial, but I think we felt kind of jilted to a certain extent, just how we carried ourselves on campus, how we represented the school, and things we did in our respective. Oh shit, there's a lizard right here. What we did in our like respective capacities, but that never really got acknowledged the way that we felt it should have. But I don't think like it stunted our growth in it by any means. I mean, we're all doing well for ourselves.
So here's where I want to play with it, right? Because I don't think any of us are hurt individually. I think we all did well individually. We carved paths that work for us right now. But I think our inability as a crew to actually to be collaborative, because even like within our crew, niggas weren't collaborating. Niggas were like coming together with ideas and like you running it through the ringer, everybody talking shit, they shitting on it, they giving you feedback, they helping you out, whatever. But it was always, no, this is my project. This ain't our project. We ain't working on this together. Thanks for your help. Yeah. But this is mine.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know, because I mean, I guess we might have different perspectives on like why we weren't as collaborative. I mean, you know, Marv and I worked very closely for like a year and a half doing like the sketch comedy thing. But I do remember, I mean, I can understand like Marvin's position, because I remember when he brought that first idea of Black Young Everything our freshman year, and y'all slandered that nigga at the table.
You said y'all. You said y'all.
They
for the fall semester of freshman year. I had to pick that up trial by fire.
So, but on the other hand of that, how Marv might have felt the way about that, and because of that, would have been like, "Fuck y'all niggas!" Like, I'm still gonna work and do what I got to do, which I always like respected about Marv. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, that could have been an opportunity for like productive feedback, constructive feedback that would have improved what his idea ultimately became, and then just would have reinforced it as a good idea, and perhaps would have kept it going. Because I think that's the biggest thing, aside from the ego, is like niggas just didn't keep at it. Like they, even through like the little bitty hardships, they just like ended it, including myself.
Yeah.
And had we not done that, it could have been some good things that came out of that.
Yeah, bro. I tell niggas all the time, I'm mad at myself that I waited till I was 25 to buy a microphone. I didn't buy one when I was 18.
I absolutely. I think that so many things in life are that way, though, and it's sad. Where it's like, if I would have known, or if I would have had the courage to just take that leap, you know, you kind of put this like ageism thing on all of your accomplishments, where it's like, well, I got to do the things in order, and like it's very iterative, or it's like waterfall, like it's got to get to that next stage. I don't think that's the way that it really works. Like, go ahead and jump off the porch at whatever age that you think is right, and make those moves, make those mistakes. And it's better to make it when you're young, because people want to hear, like, it's easier to understand 22-year-old makes a mistake, or 17, 19-year-old makes a mistake, than you 25, you 27 out here playing around with your money. You got a check coming in, you over here dicking around with it. Like, I feel like people don't respect that. There's no youth, there's no naivete that people are going to assume or kind of use that to inform their perspective on it. And I think that's what's fucked up about it at this point. It's just like, we need to encourage people that look like us, especially young Black men, to take those leaps like way earlier. Like, go ahead and fuck off with it, make the mistake, because it's still gonna be a struggle when you get old of age, and like it's not going the way you want it to.
Yeah, and I also say, just generationally, I don't know if I can say it like that, but I think we might have been one of the last classes where that area of being like an independent freelancer in whatever capacity wasn't as cemented as it is now, with, you know, how people are like really professionalizing and monetizing their Instagrams and their Twitters.
The culture switched, and we were at a terrible age for it to switch.
Bro, I couldn't agree anymore.
We spent a majority of our lives looking for this white collar job. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to college 4 years. Okay, well, shit, all three of us came in like, okay, I'm gonna go to law school after undergrad. I took common law first semester freshman year, and I said, shit, y'all niggas going to law school. I ain't going to that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And then it just so much changes, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go this career route. Okay, Chris, you went to law school. Boom, I'm gonna go this career route. Josh, I'm gonna go this career route. Mark, I'm gonna go this career route. Kimball, I'm a fucking preacher. I'm gonna go this career route. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody went these different routes, and it's like, yeah, it's great, but then you think about, damn, we kind of did it the our parents' way, you know.
Yeah.
You go to school, you get your education, you get your job, then you try to find your wife, then you get your 30-year fixed mortgage, get your house, live life. You know what I'm saying? And then like life changed when we were what? Probably like the end of college.
Yeah.
Like when Vine came out, like the whole viral moment kind of started happening. When niggas was really living viral moments, but not recording it, not putting it out for it to get picked up and carried.
I don't think that we were smart enough. Maybe not even smart enough, but I think that paradigm shift happened where like all of a sudden there was like this weird autonomous way to make money and exist in this weird gray area that wasn't respected, that wasn't revered, that hadn't shown any like profitability for a really long time, and all of a sudden somewhere like post recession, shit changed, and it felt like we had invested into a system that had really become obsolete with that like cookie cutter mold shit that they were preaching for us, where like you need to do it this way, and like you know like once you get through this gate you can get to the next level, and then you get to the next level, you get all of the things that you need to slowly get to where you want to be, and that wasn't realistic. Like if we were to monetize what we were doing instead of, I think that we looked at club promoters like, yo, that's your whole thing, like that's your whole job, and that's what it felt like when you were out there, when you were an entrepreneur in Atlanta. Like you were freelance, you were hustling, hoping for the best, and then like occasionally asking somebody for their credit card number or like their Bank of America account to make something shake. And like all of a sudden it changed into something that could be monetized, where like, no, there's really money to be made off of 1,000 views on Instagram or or Snapchat or whatever, and then it became 100,000 or whatever.
But I think the flip side of it is, after say 2014 when we came out, our like collective realization that there weren't any rules to how you made it for yourself is that now, being in our late 20s, that we can rewrite the rules to our benefit. I mean, AC with the podcast, for example, and just continue to build that brand. And that's kind of one of the biggest kind of lessons I learned through undergrad and after I left, was one, realizing that there ain't no rules for none of this.
Yeah.
And two, if you have a vision for yourself, then just stay at it. Like just be perseverant with it and let the chips fall where they may. Like, because at the end of the day, like you can't fault the nigga for trying. You get what I mean? Yeah, and I think that's what we got caught up in college on the creative side, was that we didn't want to try and fail and look away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I give Marv the ultimate props for.
For sure.
In everything, when it came to fashion, creativity, hollering at women, like everything that he did, it didn't matter what the outside noise said. It didn't matter what the status quo was. My nigga was like, hey, nah, bro, I'm gonna do this shit. Like, because I believe in me. And I say that one great thing about him, I believe in me, it was a great energy to put amongst a group of people, because it's like he got the confidence and how do I put this shit right? The turn up shit, right?
Yeah.
Which I have buzzing for a little while.
Which Chris said before he gets salty about this.
Oh, I don't.
No, I just want to make it clear, because I remember how the moment went down, and Chris was the one that said it. Sorry, just
say what? Chris said what? For the record. What did Chris say?
It turned up in the video that went.
I'm talking about the turn up thing, but honestly, bro, I wanted to be a comedy. I want to be a writer more than a.
So, Chris, that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah,
I'm getting to the whole. We all had different skill sets, and now that we're almost 30 and we know how, and we've worked professionally, we know how to take skill sets and build those around each other to make something work. But it's like, you wanted to write. I want to be somewhere in between writing and performing, but not like, I don't want to deal with people.
Yeah.
And then you had Marv, who's somebody who wanted to be. Yeah. And it's like, damn.
Wanted to be a mogul.
Yeah. And it's just like, damn, dumbass 20-year-olds couldn't put all this shit together and say, You're good at this, so you do that. You're good at that, you do that. You're good at that, you do that. Okay, so you work in your own vein. And I think it speaks just more to what I'm trying to make this conversation get to is when you're young and you lack experience, it's just so much shit that you don't know. And you think you know some shit because you can read something and retain it, but it's like, damn, my people skills are just off. My managerial skills are just off because I've never had to manage people, manage egos, manage time.
Yeah.
So can I speak to something that I think that really like has informed the way I've moved since? So my uncle told me this a few years ago, and it stuck with me since. It's like it's all about thinking about like, especially with investments, but I think that this advice applies everywhere. It's like you need to be thinking about what is going to happen, what is an emerging market 5 to 10 years from now. And I think that we didn't have that foresight. We were so nearsighted and short-sighted that it was in the immediate. How were people going to perceive us? Will we monetize it immediately? Were we going to have to spend a little bit of money to make some money? Instead of like, what does social media look like in 5 to 10 years? And can we profit off of this if we come together or be solo, whatever it was? And I don't think that we had that mentality to say that like 5 years, 10 years from now, social media is going to be the thing that like really shows consumers where the dollars are going, or advertising, or all of those things that like we could have been influencers, or that we could have, I mean, like dudes like King Bach, or, you know, like that have really been in the game for 10 years and people don't even know what they did.
Nigga, look at Pops. A nigga who lives in the same fucking room as us, the same building as us, he's talked to Pops. Like,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
Like, that nigga lived on y'all's floor.
He's my roommate.
Yeah.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that just made me think about the infamous fight that fucked up.
Yeah, you know,
man, niggas did in my glasses, bro.
Yo, Chris came to the room with me, and he had a look on his face like, "Bro, you got to check my room out." I said,
hey, bro, I ain't gonna say no names, but when bro came out the room, said, "I'm beating whoever ass is in room 204, and 204 is my room." I'm like, who are you talking about?
Especially after he had dropped the dude first week of school in the cafeteria. You remember that? Yo, we can't.
Yeah, nah. Hey, y'all remember we wouldn't let that nigga play Madden with us in the room, though?
Oh, yeah. It was the best thing we ever did.
He was, I get next. Hey, nah, bro. It's like 3 next after you.
Yeah, bro. And you knock people out for fun. Like, we not about to
play. Hey, bro, he slept that nigga over the grill, bro.
Right in front of the cafeteria workers. That's a work hazard, bro. Like, who paid for their pain and suffering? Like, who? Come on.
Yeah, I still say that's
I know we gonna keep memory lane throughout, but look, as black men America, how have y'all been coping with this quarantine? And I think both of you all three of us have had interesting quarantine experiences. I'm out here in California where you can't do nothing, but everybody wants to live. Josh, you were quarantined on an island.
Oh,
and Chris, you was quarantined in Atlanta, and I don't really think that's a quarantine.
It's not.
Yeah, but that quarantine over for y'all. Y'all just dying now. It's like a Hunger Games out there.
Bro, they open everything back up like nothing is happening right now.
Who the hell needs to go to the salon? I don't care what your weave or sewing look like right now. Just cut it.
I ain't gonna lie, like most people, like when the quarantine stuff was first coming down, especially in Cali and New York, like nobody was really taking it serious. So I remember like that week when they were shutting down Cali and New York, bro, we was still out like going to shows and stuff. Like, I don't know what they talking about, but like, you know, we still got these tickets.
Nah, bro, I was talking to Todd and like, I'm like, fam, what y'all niggas out here doing? I'm like, you know, like, I can't do shit. I can go to the grocery store and go home. He like, yeah, nigga, we living.
Bro,
yeah, I shut everything down though after that.
I feel like what was weird was I vividly remember like I had an active week leading up, and like March 15th, like roughly, I remember the 2 or 3 days before that I was going to like concerts and recitals and going to bars and like going out to eat, and then I came to work, and I think it's like whatever the Thursday of like March the 14th, maybe 13th or 14th was. And one of our like VP of equity comes in and it's like, yeah, I saw all the execs and the finance bros from all the other companies. piling into lines of Ubers with their computer monitors, and that's when I knew that I needed to tell everybody not to come back to work. Because I work downtown in downtown Boston. I remember that moment vividly. Where, like, I got off the train and it was, I mean, you could see tumbleweed. There was nobody left. There was no, and this is probably the epicenter of everything in Boston. It's packed. There's people everywhere. I come off. I could have played football in the middle of the street in downtown Crossing of Boston. Went into work, and then our VP of equity is like, "Yeah, everybody's leaving," and I knew I wasn't going back to work at that point. And I don't know when I'll be going back to work, honestly.
Yeah, I'm in school, and I don't know when they're gonna let us come back on campus. Like they've been talking about opening up classrooms for small meetings and shit, but I don't see them allowing 30 plus people back in rooms anytime soon. I graduate in December. I feel like I may not go back on campus.
I mean, until they come down with, which may not happen, but ideally they come down with a uniform strategy. Until they come out with a uniform strategy for this, I'm treating it like it's quarantine until.
And I think if you're in a position to do that, you should. But I don't think you can come up with a routine strategy for all or a uniform strategy because each place it affects differently. They've been wilding in Josh's home state, but ain't nobody dying from the shit. So it's like you can't tell these niggas to stay inside when ain't nothing happening to them.
So I totally believe that folks are dying, but because it's old people, they're not taking it seriously. They're not attributing it to coronavirus because because so much of our population, especially within South Florida, is an older demographic, and like we're talking 70, 80 plus. I think that they're not attributing those deaths. They're just like they were gonna die anyway. So like whether or not corona, kind of catalyzed that moment or not, it's whatever. And we're gonna see what happens to the
SAT word you just said, Josh?
What's up?
What's the SAT word you just said?
Catalyze?
Hey, Chris, remember when Josh used to use big words for no reason all the time?
Man. Homeostasis? They never let me forget this one, boy.
Nah, man, TV fucked up my homeostasis.
Yeah, and it was always some dumb shit too. I remember I was trying to look up to look at the screen on Cam's bum ass TV to play 2K and give him that work because Cam thought he was real, and I was handing out ass whoopings left and right.
Nah, but you and Chris though, y'all used to have y'all little practice sessions because y'all be in your room playing the game and wouldn't nobody know, so y'all could just play against each other back to back for 3 hours and watching the tip top.
That's the
I got to get framed up every day. I said I need to practice.
Hey, that's the most 2K I'd ever played.
Bro.
Man, I have not played video games like that ever again in my life. Like I tell niggas all the time, I'm like, bro, I was so nice, like freshman year, and it carried on like through the other years because I still played. But like freshman year, I'm like, I'll never be that good at video games ever again.
Yo, does anybody play? AC, you playing 2K? I know Chris don't play no video games.
Yeah, I still play 2K. I be in the park now,
bro. This is the worst 2K in recent memory I've ever played since I started playing. Since the one with KG on the cover, 2K12 or 13, whatever. No, it was probably earlier than 2K8. Bro, this is the worst 2K I've ever played in my whole life.
So I'll tell you, and it really gets bad when you play in the park. So like they had this thing where if the offensive person is already making a move, your defense cannot stop it no matter what. If they initiate the move before you like reach or bump them, like nah, niggas still dunking on you.
Agreed.
And
I can't shoot for a lick in that game.
Bro, it's so hard to green, bro. I feel like it's made for little kids. But Chris's face is like everybody else's face. Like, bro, y'all niggas really about to go into 2K fucking deep dive.
Y'all finna do this. Y'all finna go in deep on this shit. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about.
Where's 2K?
Chris, you were a casual video game player. Even when we were all playing heavy, you were still casual.
Which is crazy because I was really into video games like middle school and high school, but it just something shifted, and I just.
Chris, you were also like a better student than all of us in undergrad.
Chris put in way more time than anybody had patience to. Like, bro, we were there for the extracurriculars. Chris is like, I'm a full-time student. You can find me in the study room at Westmore this week, next week, and the week after.
Like,
then I'm going to East Atlanta.
The weekends you can get like Chris to like go out, like just like Chris be like, oh yeah. it's Friday. I'm done with class. I'm just gonna hang out on campus at 3 o'clock and just start getting drunk and just see where the day take me.
And you know that one of the funniest things in college, bro, was the random drinking partners you would have. I've been thinking about that for a minute.
Same.
Like you were linking up with niggas like you don't really know like that. You generally wouldn't fuck with like that, but because like we was on the same mission to get faded, we was on the same page.
I miss we both miss Maroon and White one year, hanging out with Amos. That boy had some poison vodka. Water. I fell asleep on the stoop. Well, I woke up in raindrops.
Oh yeah, bro. Matter of fact, that started playing 2K. Like we was bored playing 2K, and then Amos was like, "Hey, y'all ever mix vodka with water?"
And that's really a fucking drink too. Hey, let me get a vodka with water.
Bro, so we'll pull that story full circle is senior year, we went on spring break on the cruise ship. AC, I know you remember them vodka waters.
I don't remember much of that trip. I just remember by the time the trip was over, the last like 4 hours, it wasn't no talking in the car.
Bro, yeah, because I had to pay that expensive ass parking fee. That thing was $200, bro. We were gone for 7 days, like $25
we came back from the trip and we had to divvy up the parking fee for that shit. Niggas was over that.
Yeah, bro, niggas was just like over it.
Yeah,
I'm talking about them firefighters.
That was a fun trip. It was fun for like all the reasons that a spring break probably shouldn't be fun. Like it's not the wild titties and orgies and shit that everybody be talking about. It's just like it was just fun.
So I'm gonna start and end here. Shoulders McGee.
The Kappa nigga?
No. You remember this? This is Kenny's homie.
I remember the term. I'm just trying to bring it to where.
So remember, Kenny from Morehouse was on this trip. Kenny's friend.
Are we editing out specifics? Because this is the specific.
Yeah, bro. I'm not. This shit is streaming, nigga. Came on, get it. So we're gonna read that story where it's at.
I regret not getting any of them pictures.
Yeah.
I do regret that.
Which one of y'all niggas did what about a fucking drinking package so we couldn't get the drinking package?
Oh,
all of us, but it's very well. I'm pretty sure it was definitely me.
It was one of y'all who didn't want to get it. Like, nah, I ain't gonna drink that much. It's like, yes, you are. Like, you can't help it. Like, it ain't shit to do with it.
Yeah, I remember when they slid the drink bill under the door the last night.
Boy, y'all was so hurt. That was what hurt y'all. And then I remember both of y'all were mad. You were like, yo, you were playing poker. And you still didn't spend as much as us. I said, yeah, I did. I know how to monitor my finances.
Shit, damn, Josh, you went on 2 trips that year because you went down to Savannah with me.
Yeah, boy, that was a fun trip until we got there.
Oh, you're talking about Orange Crush?
Bro,
we went to what was it, Orange Crush?
Yeah.
And it was the year that Orange Crush was dead. Then it was raining.
They lost the permit, so it was unofficial that year.
Yeah, but we'd already made the plans to go, so we were like, fuck it. We saw a nigga get shot like the first 30 minutes in Savannah. We ain't even made it to Savannah State. Like, we try to park to go to Savannah State campus, and we see a nigga on top of a fucking Escalade shooting down into the fucking moonroof.
Bro, we thought it was fireworks. So luckily, we're about to pull into this place. It's called like prime time or overtime, something like that.
Second half, no, fourth quarter, OT.
OT, overtime, yeah. So we're pulling up to OT. We just get to Savannah. We're across the street from Savannah State. And I'll never forget this. We're like, oh, they're doing fireworks for Orange Crush. Man, next thing you know, we see a bunch of people running in the parking lot. We're like, oh, these aren't fireworks. So we see the dude shooting through the sunroof. We're a little traumatized by what happened. We go to the hotel, check in. We're watching the local news. They're like, oh, someone was shot at OT. Everything's going to be fine. You know, like non-life-threatening injuries. So we all kick it. We go to the hot tub. Next day, we watch the local news. I don't know why we're watching that much local news on a vacation. But anyway, we watch the local news. Bro died. I was like, bro, what happened to non-life-threatening injuries?
Yeah, bro. That shit was... I was like, bro, never again. I'm done with Savannah. If I'm in Savannah, I'm downtown. I'm with the white folks. I ain't over here on campus.
Yeah.
Or camp, as they call it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what are we doing for the quarantine? What have folks been up to?
I ain't been doing shit.
For me, I've been honestly, bro. One of the best things has been I haven't consumed music like this since college, so I've been able to take in a lot more music. And other than that, probably just exercising, honestly. Oh,
So,
and writing. Yeah.
So you talk about the music, and I cannot consume music the way I used to anymore. Like I just can't do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. Right? What you been listening to?
What have I listened to recently? It kind of like it differentiates, but obviously the new Future album that came out yesterday or on Friday, the Knowledge beat tape was super hard.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
There's a couple more joints. I can't. Oh, Larry Jones, dude out of Detroit named Helios Hussein. He's pretty dope. And hey, that 42 Doug with Baby is hard too though.
I haven't heard that.
I like him. The nigga from Detroit, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I like him. Like
I don't know what he be saying, but I rock with that song. Yeah.
I've been going old school music all day, man. I've been George Benson. Can't go wrong with that. I tried some Sammy Davis. It wasn't really happening.
Really?
Yeah.
You said like Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, I tried. I bumped a few tracks, but it was a little bit too like what do they call those like big bands for me?
Oh,
it felt like show music in Vegas.
Like Count Basie and all of them.
Yeah. I really like that tape that you put me on, Chris. That Rick Wilson and Terrace Martin.
You rock with it, yeah.
The EP rise. I've been going back though. I've been as much as possible, like listening to old, especially like 90s and 2000s R&B. That's been kind of like getting me peaceful.
Yeah, I'll add them. I've been going back to. I just played it this morning. When I get home, Solange. Yeah. Obviously, me and Josh, you be on that Chasing Summer, the Sir album.
Yeah, that's a flame.
Then of course Angelo, like that's like constant rotation.
Of the music that I've gone back to a lot of rugged 90s hip hop.
Yeah, me too.
I've just been hearing a lot of these different old niggas just talk about how hip hop was so much different back then. And just like with sports, I don't feel totally comfortable speaking definitively on cultural things that happened that I didn't experience. Because, like, I can't tell you how dope Wu-Tang was because I didn't hear Wu-Tang, like, when Wu-Tang was rocking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can tell you how much I like it or don't like it, but I can't tell you how dope they were because I was not living life during their time, right?
Right.
But, like, I've been going back listening to some of that shit. Like, I've done some G-Unit fucking Dark Holes, and I said, damn, there's just a lot of music that I don't listen to as often as I should.
Yeah, I mean, really, as adults, bro, like, how much time do you really have to be able to dive into all that, including everything that happened before you was even born, when you were just a kid? Like, it's virtually impossible. You said what?
I don't have time for that. I'm listening to at least 5 to 6 hours of podcast every fucking.
I mean, I tried to. Like, I was listening to Mace Harlem World last week.
That's on my list that I just hadn't got to. It's on the list to listen to.
Yeah, but I kind of been in that same little 90s pocket, but because there's so much dope music today that reflects that, especially from like the Griselda guys and Rock Marciano, a couple people like that, like it puts me in that mindset of listening to their music and then all the stuff that came out in the 90s too.
I agree, man. I've listened to a lot. I'm not gonna say I've listened to a lot of Griselda, but I was listening to a lot of Benny the other day. I listened to Westside Gun dropped the album about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
I gave that shit I gave a couple tracks some spins. I'm like, I don't want to listen to this shit right now, but there is a time and place for this music, and I like what the energy is. I like it.
Yeah.
Niggas just like rap.
Yeah. I can't forget. I got it, Money Man. Money Man been one of my favorite rappers for the last 2 years. So
My niggas love him. They've been talking. They talk him up, but I'm like, I look. I can't listen to all this young nigga
oh
shit.
man, maybe it's because I'm
I'm
in it.
old, man.
You gotta be here, but yeah, this the Money Man goes.
I won't really fully embrace the Atlanta rap scene until I get back in the area because it.
Yes.
If you're in the city, it don't sound the same.
Yeah, you kind of got to be in it to really appreciate it. So that makes sense.
Because for one, you need some nigga in there around you who know every word to the song, and you don't know that shit to be in your ear saying that shit hard, and you're like,
Yeah.
What have y'all been reading lately?
Yeah, fuck you talking about?
You don't read, bro. What you mean?
Yeah,
I'm lying. Let me see. I got my books right here for y'all. So here's one book I've been in and out of called Kairos by Jay Regine. It's actually a young lady I know. She graduated from Spelman. I've read. I pick and choose. Get in here, read a couple. It's a poetry book, right? Poems. You remember Marv was gonna write a book of poems. Sorry, I had to say that. No, it's actually pretty dope, and I've been reading this a little bit. Yeah, I don't read poems every day. I know what kind of nigga I am. And Game Change, right here, Josh. I don't know if you've read it, but this is right up your alley, political nigga.
Yeah. Well, what's the synopsis on it?
Game Change: Obama and the Clintons, McCain and Palin, and the race of a lifetime. So pretty much, it talks about 08, and it explains why Hillary Clinton didn't win in 16 or 08. It explains how the Obama ascension happened, and pretty much saying like if he hadn't ran in 08, he would have never been president.
Agreed. I mean, I think that we finally saw a grassroots movement win, and that was the first time since like some labor march shit, some shit like Chavez, some like it's been a minute. It's 40, 50 years at least.
And the thing about that book is it really gets into like his psyche behind like making the decision, like understanding like. It's early. Michelle's probably not gonna fuck with this, but if I don't do it today, I can't do it tomorrow. Yeah. I enjoyed it, and it makes a lot of stuff make a lot of sense. If that makes any sense.
That's fair. So I don't have my books with me, but I'm always reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. What else am I reading? Reading a book. Of course, I can't remember what it is. My brother-in-law loaned it to me, and it's about like rap and punk rock, and he goes through all of these different like eras in his life. He's an artist. He's a writer from Columbus, Ohio, and he profiles a lot of different types of music.
I know what you're talking about.
Hanif Abdurraqib.
Yeah.
Hanif Abdurrahim.
Hanif Abdurraqib, not the dude that used to shoot 3-pointers for the Hawks with the most famous jersey until Trae Young, but
hey, bro, watch your mouth.
Hey, you're not disrespect.
It's been a big gap, but y'all ain't even do right by the man, so it is what it is. Y'all should have signed Luol Deng, but we'll leave that there.
Leave Danny Ferry alone, man.
Hey, I don't care what him or Charles Barkley bum-ass got to say about it.
We can talk about Chuck later, but Chris, what you read? I figure a nigga like you went to law school. All you do is read. Chris the lawyer.
Yeah, so that whole experience kind of turned me off to reading. So, aside from legal briefs, I mean, I read the Michael Eric Dyson Jay-Z book last like 2 months ago, I think, which was cool. Really more so just studying how people write about hip hop. Since that's one of my interest areas. But aside from that,
your passion project becomes your life.
You said what?
I can't wait until your passion project becomes your life.
Oh yeah, I mean they in the works. It's actually cool. I've been connecting with some artists. That's one of the dope things because like the same thing I'm doing now, like I was doing back in 2010, but like the Twitter wasn't the same back then. So the way I'm able to connect digitally is like hella dope. But yeah, aside from that, maybe like various articles across, a couple different publications from New Yorker to like DJ Booth.
That's where I find myself. I read articles.
And I read music. I read music reviews, specifically Pitchfork, especially when they slander Drake. So that's been.
I couldn't get Chris to read no Pitchfork when I first. I was like, bro, Pitchfork lets me know how to feel about the culture, not because they speak, but because I usually go against them when they speak on rap.
Same. I like I love the writing. For the most part, granted they do be wrong a lot of the time, but they always be right on Drake when it's slander. So
they slander Drake. Pitchfork. I mean, I like anybody who will accurately depict Drake because I don't think he oftentimes is depicted the way that he should be depicted.
Yeah.
I think
this project. Did y'all listen to that?
I didn't finish it.
I made it like 5 tracks in, and really the last track that I listened to was the one where he just like word for word repeated Eminem's bars.
I just heard that yesterday. I was like, nah, that ain't.
When I cut the track, I said, "Wait, I know this one already."
Yeah, it takes a lot of work to pervert an Eminem song, but he definitely did it.
Yeah, like,
can I give my honest thoughts on Drake? Because I don't think I've ever given my honest thoughts on Drake anywhere before. I mean, I haven't privately, but not on here. Fuck Drake for one.
I see that going that way.
I think he's overrated as a rapper because he's a good song maker who raps well at times. I think he knows how to manipulate the algorithms better than anyone else. I just don't think he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it boils down to me with becoming a fan of people. It's like, do I think you're a cool guy? Are you somebody I would like to hang out with? Nothing about Drake says you're someone I want to hang out with.
I feel like the thing with Drake is like, I don't know if we've ever put him in the right box. I do think originally he was a rapper, but what we really witnessed is like Canadian pop took over American airwaves. And I want this to be recorded because I have felt this way for a bit. But like between him, Bieber, and The Weeknd, Canadian pop is taking over our airwaves, regardless of what it sounds like or what they're saying or how explicit the content is. And, it's not to say that any of those dudes are whack. It's just different. And we got to adjust to what is going on. Like, this is like music globalization or whatever. As far as Drake goes, though, I do think that, like, he's 2 for 2 with 2 straight whack albums. That boy got a lot of garbage out, a lot of album fillers. This album seems to be a little bit better than it had been before to me. But he's gotten away with a lot of trash and cultural appropriation until up until this point. His career was better before, but I think the last 2 albums have tanked him.
I think that Drake, because he doesn't make bad songs, he does not get properly criticized for not making classic albums.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like he makes too many great songs. He's too big to not have a classic album. And if y'all want to say Take Care, okay, but if you're not saying Take Care, he doesn't have a classic album.
I think people mail it in when they say Take Care is a classic album. But for me, I think it's even simpler.
I agree with Chris, by the way.
Yeah. The nigga don't stand up.
I just won't argue Take Care. I'm like, if you want to say Take Care,
oh, yeah, for sure. Like niggas don't say, I'm gonna say nothing was the same.
I agree.
Yeah, but that's just my personal opinion.
That's Head in the Clouds, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
I hated that shit.
But that
one's dope. It had a vibe.
Yeah, but after nothing was the same. I mean, really, the entirety of his career, if you want to keep it above. At the time, we were just like 18, so we thought this was like God sent music. But being 28, bro, the man don't stand on nothing that I want to be behind. And he don't gotta be on no social conscious stuff, but it don't be no principles, music, bro. He just be complaining about fame, money, and women, bro. Like
we deserve better. We deserve better from our artists. Yeah. He got to stand for something. You can't keep getting my streams and you talking about a goddamn thing. I don't care. You've been sleeping with any type of woman, strippers included, since 2010. That's cool. 2008, really, but that's over with. Like, you got to do something to earn my dollar. And so for all of these rappers that ain't rapping about nothing, I expect something out of you.
Yeah, and I mean, it's fine if it goes up at a party, but honestly, it's a lot of good music that still sounds just as good, if not better, that I could listen to even at the function. So, like, I'm straight.
So can I kind of maybe change the conversation, but in the same vein? So as someone that likes to play music for people, I do think that the culture has shifted in a way that I hate, and it makes me feel old and ornery. But people only want to hear something that they can say the words to, especially the easier the lyrics are, instead of music that's actually good. It used to be like you wanted to go out, or you wanted to go to a club or someone's house and hear some music you hadn't heard before, dope vibe. They gave you some feels or some emotion that was emotion evoking. And I feel like that era is done in rap and hip hop for those types of fans I mean, I don't want to just single out women, but I think that like across the board, people come to your house and request stuff instead of like, oh, your music in general is trash, or like this is dope, I'm feeling the vibe. No, I need to hear words that I can sing along to matter more than anything else.
Well, here, I'll give you something. One thing I think that, Chris, don't take this the wrong way. The emergence of Atlanta as pop culture, right? I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Hip hop culture runs through Atlanta. Fuck everybody. But with that, a lot of shit that comes out of Atlanta is shit that only motherfuckers from the area understand.
Agreed.
Like there is a language that is spoken in Atlanta that you would have to live in Atlanta or live in the South at least to understand. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of that Thug and Future shit, a lot of niggas, they like the vibe, but they don't actually understand what the fuck them niggas are saying, which confuses me. I'm like, this is simple English. I can decipher this very easily. It's not hard to understand what these niggas are saying. A lot of times it's not even words, it's sound effects. You should just know your sound effects. But I think that's kind of that's one of the things that's come with Atlanta becoming the center of what hip hop culture is. It's like, it's dope music, but it's not necessarily dope lyrics. And people like the musical side of it, the vibe it gets. I don't know. Maybe.
I think the counterpoint to that is, well, one, if folks outside of Atlanta want something that doesn't sound like Atlanta, then make it. It's kind of like the Jay-Z line, okay, make another one. But niggas can't because Atlanta is the wave. But secondarily, Atlanta music expands, like it spans a bunch of different areas. Now, the niggas that are most popular is a specific strain of music, that being trap, obviously. But it's a bunch of spitters coming out the city from Jig, Kenny Mason, and Grip. Like all of them boys can spit. And I'll put them up against any of them new boys coming from anywhere. But here's
another thing, Chris. Here's something that we don't talk about. Future can rap.
Oh, bro, hold on. Future can rap, Gunna can rap. All of them dudes can rap. Now, it may not be in that traditional sense, but bro, if you can put words together in them different types of cadences and get your point across and everybody fuck with it, nigga, you can rap.
I think Baby makes words rhyme too much. Like it feels like listening to some new age Lupe. But I do think Gunna's on it. I think that Future's got the talent, but I don't think a lot of those dudes are actually doing it actively. Like they're not really seeking out people that are interested in lyricism.
Well, no, because that doesn't make money. And Josh, if you Future, you laid up with Lori Harvey right now. I hope you all enjoyed part one. Part two is going to be coming soon, very, very soon. I got both of these coming back to back. I'm actually going to get in by myself. I got a few topics that I want to do alone. So I'm going to do a little bit by myself, probably about 25, 30 minutes. That's the plan, at least. Just be looking out because there's going to be way more content coming than usual. I'm off of the once a week schedule. I just got so much shit that I got in the bag that I need to get out. I got so much stuff that I want to say, and I got so many future projects planned. So we got a lot of stuff coming. Got a Jordan documentary recap coming very soon as well. So be on the lookout for all of the new Big Baby podcasts coming. You have a great day. Big Baby, yeah!